Welcome. It is January 20th, 2016. You are at a governing body meeting in the Township of West Milford, Passaic County, New Jersey. Please note, in accordance with Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975 of New Jersey, adequate advance notice of this regular meeting was advertised in the Herald News in its issue of January 10th, 2016. Copies were provided to the Suburban Trends and the Record and the Star Ledger and posted continuously on the main corridor of Town Hall and on file with the Office of the Township Clerk. Please also note, in case of emergencies, we do have exits to your left, right, and rear of the building. And with that, I would ask that you all join us and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this rather cold evening. We have no minutes. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Eric?
Here.
Councilman Hensley?
Here.
Councilman Wagner?
Here.
Councilwoman Dale?
Here.
Councilman Signorino?
Here.
Councilwoman Lichtenberg?
Here.
And Mayor Vieri?
Here. Thank you. We're rearranging the agenda a little bit. The presentations will begin at 7:30 or later, probably 7:30. So the first item on the agenda is executive session. We have Resolution 2016-058. Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of West Milford on this 20th day of January 2016 that prior to the conclusion of this regular meeting, the council shall meet an executive session from which the public shall be excluded to discuss matters as permitted to NJSA 10:4-12 subsection B7, pending or anticipated litigation or contract negotiations. Those matters include attorney-client privilege, council on mandates appeal, contracts PAL, contracts Lakeland Bank, contracts Township Board of Ed and Friends of Wallish, litigation Newark tax appeals, litigation COA, and attorney-client privilege watershed legislation. The matters the time when the matters discussed pursuant to paragraph 1 hereof can be disclosed to the public is as soon as practicable after the final resolution of the aforesaid matters. Do I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. It might be easier for me to just take this down.
No problem.
The room fills up. Let the record reflect it is 7:29 and we are reconvening into the public portion of the meeting. Welcome, everybody. We will be moving to our presentations next, so it is with great honor and pride that I ask for our Pee Wee champions to come up with their spokesperson and tell us all about what you did and the success you had. And so is there a coach or somebody here to speak on their behalf? No? No, I wasn't going to.
Hey, you can detach that mic too.
Make it less cool than that. Putting you on the spot here. We got a short dog this year, but so tell us who you are. Tell us about your team. Maybe invite them up. Tell us about their championship season. And so here you go. Now it's all yours.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting us. This is something way different than we're used to doing. All right, so far we're all being behaved, it looks like. I was fortunate enough this year to be head coach of this. These boys are in 7th grade. We have a couple 6th graders in this class also. It was a long season. We started in July, ended up in the last week of Thanksgiving weekend in November was the championship game. I had a lot of great guys helping out as coaches. They're all not here tonight. I wish they were. I do see one of my assistant coaches, Paul Babbitt's, in the stands. Most of these guys are really, really great kids, and I said it at our own football meeting that we measured our success not in wins and losses, but how this team came together. I think football is an incredible team sport. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of loyalty, a lot of discipline. Some of these boys are learning that. Some of these boys already have that. But they'll be young men someday, and they're growing into great men, and hopefully they'll be great leaders someday. It was a long season. I don't know if you want them introduced or...
Absolutely, this is their night.
All right. All right, well, why don't you guys take off your jackets so...
Let me just say
Be all right, but it's at least their first names. And, yeah.
Okay, so they're all okay with it. All right, as long as you're confident that it's been okay.
No, we already, they've all signed off.
Signed off, perfect.
All right, we'll start in the first row. First up, Stephen Leva. Make your way down there, okay? Ryan Kerwin. Connor Choma. Michael Diarco. This is the coach that Xavier Garrity. Anthony Granada. Joseph Palmentary. Come into there. Connor Knowles.
Nice for a handshake.
Mark Heiser. David Chagliel. Tyler Graham. Tony Griskin. Taylor Waldo. I know him every day.
Yeah, but not last name.
It's usually their parents' last name. This is so and so. Billy Greer.
On the second row.
Christopher Coyle. John Rosado. How you doing, Pete? Mark Vinowski. Elijah Clark. Casey Fagan. Christian Costanza. Michael Garvey. What's up, buddy? Ian Babbitts. What's that? And one of my assistant coaches, Paul Babbitts. All right. Again, we had a lot of fun this year. Again, these guys, our final record was 9-3.
9-3.
We had a tough playoff game up in Vernon against a team that we had a hard time beating in years past. Double overtime. It was really intense. It was great. Then the championship game came down to the final play.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, just stuff. I mean, they really did work hard. I'm expecting great things out of these boys in the future. Hopefully, we have a lot of leaders on this team, and it was a great experience. It really was. And thank you very much for having us tonight.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Let me just say, as your coach said, I mean, what's important, I mean, a winning record, you said 9-3, is a really awesome thing. But what counts more than winning is that you display good sportsmanship and teamwork, and you do your best, whatever level that might be. But it's really awesome when you win like that. No denying that. So congratulations, boys. Keep up the teamwork and the good sportsmanship, and just stay true to yourselves and level-headed and be respectful to everybody, and you'll do great things. So congratulations.
Congratulations. Nice job getting them all here. Nice. In uniform. Nice.
Some of you guys take a knee. Go get them all in the picture. Hey, Coach.
Team picture. Come on.
Yeah, take a knee down in the front. All these proud parents. Wait till your kid is up there.
That's true. Those photos at the end, too.
I remember my parents' brother. I'm working with
Which camera do you look at? I'm just looking at the wall right now. Christmas be like. Thank you so much.
I know, congratulations.
I'll just make the announcement. So, if you'd like, we could torture you and ask you to stay, but at this point in time, if you'd like to go home, maybe get some schoolwork done and some sleep, we understand.
Now I feel lonely.
I know. So, okay, back to a near empty room, but I'm sure we have a huge TV audience instead. We have a plenary retail consumption liquor transfer, license transfer, I'm sorry, from Tuscany Brew House to Sunwoo Trade. We're opening it up to the public. Is there anybody here that would like to have any comments regarding this liquor license? It's a person-to-person transfer.
Seeing no one move to close the public
I'll
portion.
second that.
Thank you. And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And from there, I would like to also rearrange the agenda and go to our discussion item. We have one discussion item, and then we'll go on to follow the rest of the agenda. So, Tim, would you like to come up also as part of the new library space discussion?
Thank you, Mayor. Tim Roteman, Recreation Department.
Here's my, so, yeah, no, I have it here somewhere. Okay, we'll wait till technical difficulties are resolved. Do you want to take the lead, the purpose of this discussion? You want me to do it, or? Okay. So council, the purpose of this discussion primarily is, we're at the stage where, in terms of planning for the library building, we need to determine details. And when I say we, the staff, Tim, the library director, the administration, in terms of, where exactly and how many. So the placement and the number of things like outlets, drops for cable, drops for whatever, any kind of needs that we have. So really the goal is just, we have this space and we have it highlighted in front of you. The yellow represents the township space, and just confirming basically what the purpose of that space is. I thought this was determined years ago, but.
Well, I think we had a subcommittee meeting, Madam Mayor, and the discussion evolved, and there were some suggestions beyond the scope of what we all thought was the general consensus in the past. And we're getting to the point where we have to choose electrical drops, and we just want to confirm that it is the consensus of the governing body that we would be using this primarily, or for the most part, for rooms, meeting rooms, conference rooms for the community at large.
Right.
And if that's the case, I think the Community and Services and Recreation Director and the Library Director are prepared to move forward with selecting the drops for all of our needs, whether they be for televisions, whether they be data ports, whatever it may be, they're prepared based on those usages. The question also arose, I should say, about having sufficient bandwidth to be able to expand in the future for Wi-Fi, and we have confirmed through our library director that we will have sufficient bandwidth, not only for our immediate needs, but for our future needs. And we have sufficient cable drops also to meet those needs.
So really the question at hand is, or really it's a confirmation that this space is meant for the community, for meeting rooms, similar to what we're doing at Hillcrest currently.
Correct.
So is everybody agreeable to that? Because then our staff.
Do you have
can
enough
go right to
outlets,
it.
Tim? That's the question at hand here.
To confirm, there are plenty of electrical outlets.
Okay.
There are a sufficient amount of data drops throughout all the rooms. Actually, I have to give a lot of credit to Ricardo Pino, the library director. He was very thorough. He reviewed all the plans to think of really everything that I threw at him, including drops for data projectors and other items, and it's already in there. He's already got it mapped out pretty good. So.
Okay. Close my sheet.
Okay, so everybody's in agreement. We can move forward with the plans, and the usage would be for the community to use it for meeting rooms and conferences and.
Yeah, the discussion we had was to use the rooms for meeting space, conference space, community groups, similar to the use of Hillcrest. Everything.
Right.
Yeah,
the whole purpose of the building was to be a library and community center where it's dedicated to our residents, and their use.
Yeah, there's terrific opportunity here for, probably 4 to 5 groups at a time, even more, maybe up to 6 at a time using this space. It's really a terrific space.
Excellent.
Kitchen space,
Yes.
Potential for.
so everything's set for it if it go forward.
Because Tim, I was told that in the past during a budget meeting that we would, in order to have a stove or something, we would need different kind of high, ventilation and different things like that. So, is that also
Fire suppression
fire
system.
suppression?
Yeah, whenever you install a commercial kitchen facility, you do need a stainless duct, preferably stainless duct hood, which would vent out to the outside. Fire suppression system. This building is rigged with electric instead of natural gas, so you would be looking at electric units. But there is an area, it's marked out as room 5, number 216. It's all the way in the bottom right corner of your map. It's indicated as the best possible place for this, one, because it's on an outside wall and you can vent out, and because there's kind of like a butt out in the room there where you could fit all that stuff without really impeding the rest of the room.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we do have Ricardo looking into getting quotes for finding out how much would it cost to get the oven and the fire suppression system and the venting and everything else that you need to make that a usable space
Great.
for that purpose.
Yeah, I was.
And that would, of course, come back to the council then, but he's looking into it.
Okay, thank you.
We'll find a way.
Anything else?
Nope. I'm good.
Beautiful. I think you are free to go. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks.
All right, and thank you, council, for staying on point. So I believe we're on to the public portion of the meeting. This is the public's opportunity to approach your governing body and discuss any matters you so choose. I would ask that you state your name and address for the record at the podium. remain respectful, and you have a 5-minute limit. If you're heading towards that limit, I will motion to you and ask that you wrap up your comments. So is there anybody here that would like to address the governing body?
Seeing no one, move to close the public portion.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
So obviously, we're skipping council comments on public comments. We move right on to new business, and we have 3 different ordinances. I will just state for the record that all 3 are being introduced tonight. There will be a second reading and public hearing on February 17th. So when you hear these, if you have any comments on them, you will be afforded that opportunity. It will be on February 17th at our meeting at that time. So ordinance 2016-001, our very first ordinance for the year, ordinance of the Township of West Milford, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending and correcting Chapter 226 noise of the revised general ordinances.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
One moment, Mayor.
Absolutely.
Councilwoman Eric,
Yes.
Councilman Hensley,
Yes.
Councilman Wagner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dale,
Yes.
Councilman Signorino,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lichtenberg.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, council. The next ordinance is 2016-002, an ordinance of the Township of West Milford, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, to amend Chapter 135, fees and costs of the revised general ordinances.
So move.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I had one point of clarification under Section B, where there's guest membership and it lists the prices. Is that per day, I presume? Because it doesn't specify, and I think it should say per day. So I think it's considered a minor change. We wouldn't have to reintroduce, but.
Just kind of added in there, introducing now, so you can make.
Okay, true. So we can, so I would suggest that it says Bubbling Springs Park guest membership per person per day.
So you need an amended motion, Madam Mayor?
I would prefer that, yes.
I'll amend mine.
I'll amend the second.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right, then, roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Eric,
Yes.
Councilman Hensley,
Yes.
Councilman Wagner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dale,
Yes.
Councilman Signorino,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lichtenberg.
Yes.
Perfect, council. Thank you very much. And ordinance 2016-003, an ordinance of the Township of West Milford, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, appropriating $202,819.27 from reserve for capital purchases.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? And a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Eric,
Yes.
Councilman Hensley,
Yes.
Councilman Wagner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dale,
Yes.
Councilman Signorino,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lichtenberg.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. And council, if you are agreeable, we could move all the resolutions. It would be agenda items 4 through 14. And that would be resolutions 2016-059 through 2 and including 069. And of course, you can always discuss any individually.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion on any of those items? Roll call vote.
Councilwoman Eric,
Yes.
Councilman Hensley,
Yes.
Councilman Wagner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dale,
Yes.
Councilman Signorino,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lichtenberg.
Yes.
Wonderful, thank you. We now have our favorite part of the evening, approval of expenditures, 2016-070.
Pay the bills.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Eric,
Yes.
Councilman Hensley,
Yes.
Councilman Wagner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dale,
Yes.
Councilman Signorino,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lichtenberg.
Yes.
All right, and we are on to reports. And Tim, you're up first this week.
Well, we had the first rec advisory committee
Everything went well. I mean, basically, Tim Roman just kind of recapped everything from the prior year. We got a good group of guys, and look forward to working with everybody. Also, like to congratulate Cynthia Soto, who recently just opened up a new restaurant called the Scala, which is a Latin bistro, and look forward to having a different restaurant in town. Other than that, I really don't have a whole lot.
And Tim, that Latin bistro is located at the airport, correct?
Just so happens, I didn't want to be a little conflict there.
No, it's not a conflict as far as I'm concerned. It's a new business in town, so you have absolutely every right to say that as far as I'm concerned.
And after sampling their food, it is outstanding.
It is very good.
I'll ditto that.
Okay.
Very good.
Actually, I had dinner there tonight, so very good.
You had dinner?
Yeah. Well, it was on the go, if you want to call it dinner, as I came into
Got an
town.
empanada and left, huh?
Exactly. Two, actually, I had two.
All right. Tim, you said that was it?
That's it.
Okay. Michelle?
I have no report. I haven't had any committee meetings because fire is next week. I did attend the MUA meeting, nothing to report there. And the Autumn Lights Festival doesn't start up until the spring.
Okay.
But thank you.
You're welcome. And Lou?
Thank you, Mayor. We did have a Heritage Committee meeting. It had been canceled because of the snow that we were getting at the time, and some concerns with the traveling. So it had been canceled. We had to reschedule for yesterday. It was a great meeting, a great reorg meeting. We actually came up with a report for the administrator as far as projected projects, future projects, so we know what the museum's dealing with. This way the council is informed on what's going on. Other than that, for the Heritage Committee, there's nothing else at this time. The Insurance Committee did meet, and as Madam Administrator knows, it was a good meeting. And it started off great. We're going to have our insurance providers present at the next committee meeting, so that there could be questions answered, so the committee can give recommendations to this council moving forward, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Lou.
Mayor, can we move back one seat? I did have actually one comment. I apologize. As I was sitting there
Right.
thinking, is it okay?
Absolutely.
Just thank you to the CASA committee. We did have the CASA dinner, which turned out to be sold out. The speaker was wonderful. We have new committee members, so they've been notified, and just wanted to welcome them and just say thank you to the community for their support with attendance at the CASA dinner, and hopefully future meetings and planned activities that we'll have to bring and continue to bring community awareness against substance abuse.
And Mayor, could I just add to that? I think it really was a great event. I mean, we all had a great time, and Druggy Dougie he was an amazing presenter. I mean, in 6 years, nothing to the previous presenters. Everybody always does a great job, but he was excellent. So
They vary.
Any group in this town,
entertaining.
yeah. And you know what? And really, I left feeling like we should share that resource with every organization in this town. Anybody who's interested in finding out how to identify and help young people or any users out there. Maybe you can try to find a way. Maybe somebody can put you in touch with what's his name? I don't want to keep calling him Druggy Dougie, but
I don't remember the name of the speaker.
But certainly call the administrator, and we
His
can get
name
you.
was Doug Collier.
Doug
Former
Collier.
DEA agent.
Yeah, and it was great. I mean, I really was amazed, and he caught everybody's attention. He kept the attention the entire time. Very informative.
Yeah.
Very moving. So.
I think just to comment on all of that, I believe the entire governing body, myself included, went to that CASA dinner, and I agree that every year there's always been good speakers, but he was not only very knowledgeable because of his profession, and now he's, I guess, basically a career speaker, but he was very entertaining. You can tell that that's what he does for a living, and it just kept you captivated. So.
And we actually had, somebody had brought to my attention towards the end of the presentation, and I'm not sure if anybody had followed up with this. Maybe, I guess it would be Patty would be the one to follow up with about, I guess there's a part 2 to this.
Yes.
To this presentation. So I certainly am interested in having that and seeing that presentation and sharing that with the community as well. So hopefully, actually, Michelle, maybe you can get back to us after your next meeting and let us know what you guys come up with.
Excellent.
Thanks, Mayor.
You're welcome. And Marilyn?
Yes, and the next CASA meeting is the second Monday in February. I believe it's the 8th, and anyone from the public is welcome to come. It's at Hillcrest in the Pride Room, and that, again, is February 8th. I have a few things here. I will be bringing this up at each meeting, that the Pride Rummage Sale is coming up April 22nd and 23rd, Pride program. And they're looking for people to donate furnishings, all kinds of things, glassware, houseware items. You can drop them off at Hillcrest during the day. That's for the Pride program. Also, there's a free eye screening here at the West Milford Health Department from 10 to 2 on January 26th. If you're interested, you need an appointment to call 973-881-4396. And I'd like to give a thumbs up to Megan Hogan. She is a junior in West Milford High School. She received a award from the VFW for an extra credit assignment she did for her AP History 2 class, and she's received a small scholarship from the local VFW, and now she's proceeding further for the district, and that will be on West Milford 77 TV channel. You can see it this weekend. I don't know the time, but if you look up on the township website, it will be on the website on the first page on the right-hand side. The time will be placed on the scheduling. Thank you, Mayor.
Time for the CASA meeting?
7:30.
CASA meeting is 7 p.m.
7 p.m.?
7 p.m.
All right, and since we, Marilyn, since you mentioned it's open to the public, for those of you that don't know, because it's certainly an issue that should be concerning to most of us, CASA stands for Community Against Substance Abuse. So it has to do with whether it's alcohol, drugs, or any other kind of abuse issues. So it's something that affects most people in this community in some way, shape, or form, either directly or indirectly. So if you're interested, please do join them. Ada.
All right, touching also on the CASA dinner, the Doug Collier's thing, that was, I think, what he said was his number 8 presentation. I mean, I've been following this guy for the last 4 years through United for Prevention at Passaic County, and he's just an awesome speaker because he really knows his drugs. The other thing is, Monday night we had a fireworks committee meeting, and it's moving right along. We have a platinum sponsor, which we will be advertising for a year, the whole year, which is ShopRite of West Milford gave $5,000. We still have lots of gold sponsors. We're looking for others to kick in a little bit more money on the dais here. And we're still looking so it doesn't cost the town anything to have this fireworks celebration. Our insurance agents, I have to tell you, they both donated, and I was told that they're not donating to the fireworks celebration. They're donating to the township celebration because they're not allowed to donate to fireworks, only to a celebration. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. We had an EDC meeting, Economic Development Commission meeting, and we reorganized and had a very productive meeting, and I think everybody was very excited to begin this new year and working on behalf of the township. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. That was it, right? Okay. I just want to make 2 brief announcements, one of which is Standard & Poor has rated the township a AA+ on our bond rating, so we've been upgraded yet again, and we are now AA+. So, and they attribute that to strong management with good financial policies, strong budgetary performance, including having an operating surplus, strong budgetary flexibility, very strong liquidity, and the list goes on, but those were kind of the top 4 items. So let's just stay on that track. And the other thing I wanted to mention in having meetings during the week, it did come up if there are any potential Eagle Scouts out there or Scoutmasters that are looking for projects for Eagle Scouts, I would suggest you contact Tim Ropeman, our Community Services and Recreation Director. He's got plenty of ideas that could keep you busy and have fun projects for our community. So please contact him. Antoinette, do you have anything?
I do, Madam Mayor. I did send a report out in your packet, and I also had one on the dais, and there's a couple of items on that one that I'm just seeking your consensus on. The first one is the heating system at Town Hall. The boiler had its last wind today, and we were kind of struggling. So I did ask the staff to proceed with getting a new boiler. I don't think we have many other options. If we do hold it together, we will end up expending money on parts and ultimately have to do the replacement, so it will be a double dip.
It should be more efficient too, right? A new boiler.
It will be more efficient. We've had a number of breakdowns in the last few weeks. It's been quite pleasant. But to that end, I also, the actual boiler itself is in Massachusetts, and with the snowstorm and everything coming, the vendor thought he might be able to get it on the road on Friday, which may not be likely, and then there may be delays if the storm hits them bad. So we've asked our maintenance guy to get it, to use a truck and go up tomorrow and get it so that we can have it installed, because there are concerns with the building for the weekend through the storm. So we are hoping to get it into Town Hall on Friday and have it work done and up and running before the weekend.
Great, thank you.
Good move.
And to that end, we're also, there's one part for the other boiler that we need to get replaced too, but that is under warranty, so we will be working to get whatever money's back that we can on that. And so we're putting that through. There was no funding for this in the budget. It was an unexpected occurrence, so I've asked them to charge it to the facilities account, and I hope that's okay with the governing body. Absolutely. There is sufficient funding in there. And then the other item is an appointee to the redevelopment subcommittee. Chuck McGorry did say that he could meet on Thursday or Friday this week. We scheduled it for 1 o'clock tomorrow. I know the governing body did not make an appointment to the redevelopment subcommittee, but I asked Councilman Hensley to attend only because of the last meeting. He said he would be interested in being reappointed to that committee, and if the council wishes to appoint another member so that they can proceed on that committee. Anybody interested?
I'll do it.
So Ada, and then Mike also, right?
Yes.
Consensus?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do we need
Mayor?
a roll call? Yes.
Yeah, we should do the
Okay.
first.
So we'll do a roll call vote then for Ada and Mike to serve on the redevelopment committee.
One moment.
Not a problem.
Take your time, Diane, I've been there.
They say, take your time, hurry up.
Councilwoman Eric,
Yes.
Councilman Hensley,
Yes.
Councilman Wagner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dale,
Yes.
Councilman Signorino,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Lichtenberg.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, council. Anything else, Antoinette?
No, unless anybody has any questions on the rest of my report, I'm good.
I probably should have brought this up in my council report, but the last council meeting, we had an empty position for liaison for the fireworks committee, and you were undecided, and I'd like to put that open for discussion and possibly another vote.
Okay. We can certainly do that, and just so that before we take a vote, let me just say that at the last reorganization meeting for 2015, I was put on the spot to break ties that was ultimately between two political factions. And what I tried to do was be very fair and kind of rotate, choose one or the other in a way that I felt was also servicing the needs of the community. This year that didn't happen, but instead I was asked to break a tie among two fellow council members. And I'm not going to do it. I was put in the spot last time. You guys make the appointments to it. You choose who you feel is the better candidate. I'm not going to be put in the middle among personnel. I will make decisions. I know people are going to say, Mayor, that's your job. I will make decision on township issues. I will not make decisions when it comes to personalities. So, that said, if you guys want to redecide who you'd like to nominate and who has more votes.
I'd like to nominate Tim Wagner.
I'll second that nomination.
I'd like to nominate Michelle Dale.
We have to slow down a little while.
For decline.
Okay, I'm sorry. Who nominated?
Can we just restate that again? Councilwoman Eric
The
nominated.
nomination for Tim Wagner was by, I'm sorry.
Councilwoman Eric.
I second it.
And Councilman Hensley nominated Councilwoman Dale. Councilwoman Dale declined.
I'll take back the declination. This is for the fireworks
Fireworks
committee?
committee.
Okay.
Oh, so
I wanted to be on it from the beginning,
Right.
so.
That's why I said, are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm nominated.
Councilwoman
Second.
Dale
Okay.
So Councilwoman Dale seconded.
Okay, she didn't decline, just seconded.
No, she withdrew. Yeah, her declining.
She declined her decline.
Yeah. Withdrew her decline.
Back on the radar.
Well, that's your turn. Okay.
So funny.
Okay, so tell me when you're ready, Diane. Somebody used to say that.
I know, you're like, Diane. Slow motion. Antoinette.
This is for
Maybe co-chairs.
Fireworks.
Excuse me?
And the two of them.
I brought that up, but that would put too many people. It's a liaison position, but that would make 3 council people, and the limit is 2 per committee, because Ada's already on it. So one of them could serve as an alternate for if somebody doesn't show up, but they wouldn't be able to regularly go to meetings.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome. So Tim was nominated first, so we'll do a roll call vote for Tim to serve as liaison for the fireworks committee.
Councilwoman Eric,
Yes.
Councilman Hensley,
And this is for Mr. Wagner,
Tim,
right?
yeah.
No.
Councilman Wagner,
This is for me, correct?
Yeah, this is for you, Tim.
Come on down.
that was,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dale,
No.
Councilman Signorino,
Yes.
You didn't announce that you didn't know
and
right now.
Councilwoman Lichtenberg.
Yes.
All right, so Tim has 4 votes on that, and right now we call for Michelle, so roll call vote for Michelle to serve as liaison.
Councilwoman Eric,
Yes.
Councilman Hensley,
Yes.
Councilman Wagner,
No.
Councilwoman Dale,
Yes.
Councilman Signorino,
No.
Councilwoman Lichtenberg.
No.
Mayor,
So
can I
that was
say
3 to
something?
3. You may certainly.
Both of these council people would like to be on it, so I will give up my seat.
Okay, that's very gracious of you, and that does solve a problem.
Totally solves the problem.
Mayor, there's still the alternate, so I'd like to nominate Ada Eric as the alternate member.
I decline.
That just means Tim and Michelle have to show up at all the meetings, so. All right, so do we need to do anything else then? If Ada's stepping down?
You got
just have a
2.
roll call vote, we have 2 people, so.
Everybody's on.
Yeah, everybody's on board with that, right? Okay. Thank you very much, Ada, that's very gracious of you.
It is very
All
nice.
right.
Number of fireworks.
Diane, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I will ask if you have anything to report.
Try to say
Not
yes
at
on
this
everything.
time.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Madam.
You're welcome.
Say yes on everything.
And Fred, do you have anything?
Mayor, most of my items are really for executive session tonight. Just as one thing I did want to mention about the reorganization. A lot of times there's volunteers and yourselves as members of the governing body where you're going through a very unique nomination process. I think it would be just as safe, so you don't have to vote no, whether it be for colleagues or volunteers, to just abstain. and then you just count how many yes votes, so you don't have to say, hey, I voted no. So just as a thought down the road, because you have so many votes. Besides that, everything's an executive session.
Right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Does an abstention go with the majority then, though?
No, because you could just put this on your rules to do it that way,
Okay.
so you don't have to vote no.
Okay, so you can handle it differently
Yeah.
than with other
Yeah.
issues. All right, so we could revisit that, council. Might make you a little more comfortable anyway. The council may or may not wish to fill some vacancies. There's Class 4 Alternate 2 on the Planning Board, and there is citizen member on the Cable TV Commission. Are you prepared to do
On
so?
cable TV, I'd like to nominate Bob Nicholson.
I'll second it.
One thing I'd like to say is there seems to be another good candidate out there. When I opened my packet, I put a call into this person, and I've yet to hear back. On paper, it looks like we want him, and I still want him, but I don't know if he could do the job that we need him to do, other than being cameraman right now. Because it says that he's also an editor, but we don't have machinery to edit with yet.
So actually, I had spoken to our administrator today, and I had found out that there was a concern of, I guess, somebody not reaching out. But apparently, I did get a message that they left you a message, Ada.
No one left me a
So
message.
I'm just letting you know. So maybe there's been some kind of miscommunication there, but I'm not sure why somebody would be interested in a committee and fill out paperwork and then, respond to a council person.
Been in my
Just
pocket
letting you know, Ada.
since I called.
So
on paper,
I'm just
he
letting
looks
you know. Yeah.
But we needed to talk to him. When Nate put in his paperwork, we called him in for an interview, and we put him on before you guys put him on.
Well, anyway, you said what you said, and I'm just responding to you because I got wind of the concern, so I made sure that I confronted it, and certainly I got a response that they tried to reach out to you. So, that's all I got to say about that.
Well, and I'm just making a suggestion that if there's a potential other candidate and you just need more time to interview, would you like to not make a nomination and appointment tonight? And I'm just throwing it out there. That's another option. You don't have to do it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? You only have 12 months in a year, so there's going to be another meeting coming up this next month. So it really doesn't seem, as long as this council's interested in filling that seat, I certainly would make the nomination. So at this point, I would like to nominate Douglas Scott Newton to the citizen member position of the Cable TV Commission.
Okay. Are there any other nominations then? Was there a second for Bob Nicholson?
Yes, there was.
Okay, so it was Ada, seconded by Marilyn. Lou Signorino nominated Douglas Scott Newton. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, that was Mike Hensley. Any other nominations? Motion to close.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Oh, I'll second that.
Thank you. And then we'll do roll call votes for the appointments, starting with Bob Nicholson, who was nominated first.
One moment.
Take your time.
Absolutely.
Wait.
Freezing in here.
Fortunately, we didn't get to interview this person, and we don't know if he has all the capabilities to do the things that we need for this station, where we do know now that we do have someone that can do it.
So just in case this council meeting happens to go on the air, if that person is watching, Scott, the Cable TV Committee meeting is next Wednesday, right here in this room, and please come.
7 o'clock.
I'm ready, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Diane. So roll call vote for Bob Nicholson for the citizen member vacancy on the Cable TV Commission.
Councilwoman Eric,
Yes.
Councilman Hensley,
No.
Councilman Wagner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dale.
I'll abstain.
Councilman Signorino?
No.
Councilwoman Lichtenberg?
Yes.
Okay, and then we will do a roll call vote for Douglas Scott Newton.
Councilwoman Eric?
No.
Councilman Hensley?
Yes.
Councilman Wagner?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dale?
Abstain.
Councilman Signorino?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lichtenberg?
No.
So both candidates got the same number of votes, 3 yeses, 2 nos, and 1 abstention.
So the abstention goes with the majority.
Does the abstention go with the majority? There is no majority.
I'll change my vote then to this gentleman. I did read his resume. It's quite extensive. I can't think of his name. What is his name?
Douglas Scott.
Douglas, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think we're just trying to get.
Right. Okay. So by Michelle not abstaining on that vote, Douglas Scott Newton got 4 votes, which would mean he has now been appointed to the committee.
And Madam Mayor, may I just say that nobody is prohibited from volunteering for that commission, so we welcome everybody's input to the extent that they want to help out and better the TV programming. We certainly welcome it.
Well, there's something I did check into, and one comment I would like to make is that the commission can utilize volunteers from within the community without council approval.
Right.
So I think that was a pretty, I commend all of us working together and giving that purview to, the liaisons and what have you, and that much trust and faith in the committee that they did not need council approval to utilize the volunteers from the community in order to keep the station going. So I just want to note that just because there's not an official appointment, it does not preclude people or the committee from utilizing any volunteers who wish to volunteer in any capacity that is assigned to them through the commission.
And keep in mind, the commission members are volunteers as well.
Exactly.
So really, it's just a matter of are you formally on the commission or not?
Correct.
Okay. Council, are you prepared to make any appointments for the class 4 alternate?
Planning board?
For the planning board.
Actually, Mayor, could we maybe leave this to the next meeting?
I'm asking if anybody wants to. If there's no
I would like
nominations,
to.
we hold off.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to maybe some of the council members offline, get their input on this, and then maybe bring this up at the next meeting.
I thought there was 2.
Yeah, there was an alternate, right?
Yeah. I have it here somewhere.
I mean, I can't stop you from doing that, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking to nominate, unless somebody else is looking to nominate
if
tonight.
there are no nominations, we won't do anything tonight. So, and I'm not hearing any. Nobody's jumping at it. So, and then we had our discussion item. So we are going back into executive. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. On this agenda, because we jumped around. And to the best of my knowledge, and between my left and right, you can confirm there's no action after executive session?
No action.
Correct.
Okay. So for the record, we will be going back into executive session to finish the items that we did not get to discuss earlier tonight. When we reconvene into the public session, it will literally just be to adjourn the meeting. There will be no action taken. With that said, I will say there is a motion for executive session. And that is Resolution 2016-071. Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of West Milford on this 20th day of January 2016 that prior to the conclusion of this regular meeting, the council shall meet an executive session from which the public shall be excluded to discuss matters as permitted to NJSA 10:4-12, subsection B7. The matters still to be discussed would be contracts Lakeland Bank, contracts Township Board of Ed and Friends of Wallash, litigation Newark tax appeals, litigation COA, and attorney-client privilege watershed legislation. The time when the matters discussed pursuant to paragraph 1 hereof can be disclosed to the public is as soon as practicable after the final resolution of the aforesaid matters. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Have a good evening. I presume nobody's hanging around just to see us say goodnight, so thank you.
It's a little wrapper. Oh.
Yes, sorry.
There's something going on up in front.
No, that's the
The heat.
morning.
We're trying to.
Doing a great job, Diane.
Thank you, Diane.
Excellent.
Over my bench.
Thanks for keeping up with us.
You got the lights. Yeah, I got the police car with the lights and everything. For the cop in the road. Two cops in the road.
I think she needs you.
That made her nervous now.
They came through one night, right there, right at this guy.
I think your problem's with the computer is because it's too cold to function.
I think you're onto something.
All right. We are. There you go. You're recording now. Yes, we are.
Then let the record reflect, we are reconvening into the public portion at 9:24, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
I heard Ada and Lou, I believe.
No, it's Marilyn can take that
And
one.
Marilyn, okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
We'll do all in favor, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, good night.
Good night.
Now, where's my coat?
That's later.
Yeah.